Hello class, this is Professor Kraus and I will be your professor for Introduction to Christianity. This is the first lecture, and throughout this lecture I am going to be covering what we are going to be looking at for this class, and the sort of introduction, and then your syllabus. That way we are all on the same page. You're going to go over the My Carolina platform, show you where you can find different things, and then go from there. So let me begin by reading a passage of scripture that will sort of set the stage for this class. In John, Gospel of John, John chapter 14, verse 6, Jesus says, "I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. If you really knew me, you would know my Father as well. From now on, you do know him and have seen him." So Jesus is making a very specific truth claim. When he says, "I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life," he is saying something to his audience about who he is, why he came. He goes on to say no one can go to the Father, no one can be saved, no one can get to heaven apart from him. That is one of the main claims. It's something that we are going to look at here throughout this course. We have three textbooks. One of them is going to be the Bible. And then, three textbooks and the Bible. That's going to kind of guide our conversations. So I'm looking forward to having all of you in class. Let's open in prayer. Father, thank you for this new group of students. I pray that they are already settling into this class and their other classes. I pray that you would bless them. You'd help them to work hard, do their very best, to be able to understand the information as I present it. Help me as a professor to help them as students and to encourage them along the way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, so let's go over a little bit here of the syllabus. So in our syllabus, notice here you have my name. You notice that I do not have a room on campus, and so if you're wanting to meet in person or meet even online, you can reach out to me by email. Here is my email, krausp@carolinau.edu. I've also given you my cell phone number. That is only to be used in case of emergency, or for some reason something goes down in our system and you desperately need something, then you can reach out. But other than that, you should be good to go with the email. The email is what I'm going to answer probably the quickest. It shows here that our class location, for those of you who are in-person students, you're going to be meeting in Deeds 105 Tuesdays at 12 o'clock. For those of you who are online, you're going to be watching these lectures and going from there. Not a lot that we need to cover here. Course information, it goes over some things that we are required to put in our syllabi. Course resources. All right, so if you have not already checked out our bookstore online and saw what books you need, now you see the books that you need, and you need to get these as soon as possible, because we are going to have readings week 1. We are going to have papers week 1, week 2, week 3, and so this is something that you need to jump on. You can get the used copies of all three of these books, a copy of the Bible. If you can find, some students in the past have been able to find Mere Christianity online for free. You can use the Kindle versions if you like to read copies online. If you can find something for free, even better. But you will need, as you're going to see in a second when I go over the schedule, you're going to need copies of all three books to be successful in this class, because you're going to have reading quiz and papers on them. Any translation of the Holy Bible will do. Course requirements. This is one of the main things you probably really want to know about. You only have four main graded categories in the class. The first one are going to be your reading quizzes. These quizzes are going to consist of one question asking you how much reading you did throughout the week. The second, third, fourth, and fifth question, depending on how many each week, are going to be based on your reading. They might be true or false, multiple choice, or short answer. There's going to be a short time limit just so that you can't look at the questions and go try to find it in your book. You're going to need to have read this already and paid attention during the lectures to know this. Your quizzes are going to be open from Thursday until Saturday. Thursday to Saturday. So you have 3 days to log in and take these quizzes. While we're here, let me go ahead and show you. As you can see over here, that's the faculty version. Let me log in as a student. This is the student view. This is the course information page, but when you click on coursework, you're going to see these different things for each week. Right now, I'm going to do that later on this weekend. There will be an assignment that is for your reading quiz. Week 1 reading quiz. You're going to click on that reading quiz. You're going to start it. You're going to take those, answer the questions, submit it, and you are done. Notice already here, you've already got an interaction paper that's posted. Later on here in week 6, you're going to find an interview. Week 7, the final exam, and on and on and on. So, your reading quizzes are going to be every week until the very end. Week 7, there will be no reading quiz, only your final exam. But information here. I apologize. Here we go. Quizzes will begin week 2, so you don't have to worry about it week 1. But on week 2, you're going to find a reading quiz. It's going to be open until 11:30 p.m. Saturday. So these are not going to be very long quizzes. There's something you can take in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes if you've read your stuff. Number 2, this is often the most confusing assignment, but hopefully I can do a good job of explaining it. So from the very beginning, we're on the same page. Every week, you are going to be required to submit an interaction paper. These interaction papers are going to be on the main topics or main readings that we are going to do throughout the week, which I'm going to show you on the schedule in a second. Notice, this is very, very important. The material that every student is going to write on must be what I include right here. I literally tell you what to write on. So for example, in week 1, knowing that some of you will not be able to have your books ready in time or have them, shipped to you in time, we are going to have some lectures on what is truth. And so you're going to write your own paper on what is truth. What do you think truth is? Do you think what I say in the lectures is correct or incorrect, or do I need to go even further in what I say? The main word of this assignment here is interaction. Interaction might include each week agreement with a certain subject, further reflection, like your own additional thoughts that takes it even further than the author or what we talk about in class, or maybe you completely disagree with an author, which is perfectly fine. Students will be graded based on their level of interaction with the material. Please, this is huge. I do not want to have to constantly write back to you every single week. Do not just summarize. Do not just tell me what an author says. I want you to interact with it. I want you to tell me why you disagree, why you agree, those sorts of things. These papers need to be 1 page long, single-spaced. You will automatically lose points if you send me papers that are half of a page or double-spaced, or if you do not use 12-point font. If you use huge font and stuff like that, I will know. So don't try to, get around all of the requirements for these papers. 1 page, single space, 12-point font, 1-inch margin, your normal sort of setup for a paper. And I want to learn what you believe, based on what you read. So for example, week 1, as I just said, you're going to write a 1-page paper, not on any of our reading yet, unless you have your books and you want to include some thoughts about it, but what is truth? In week 2, you are going to be reading in your assigned reading Mere Christianity, book 1, and you're going to be reading some chapters. You can write as much as from chapters 3, 4, or 5. You might have one main topic that you really thought was important. You can write on that for your whole page. Or you might have 2 or 3 smaller topics that you agree or disagree with. And so anything in these 3 chapters here are fair game. Same thing, week 3, Basic Christianity. You have 2 chapters to choose from. You can write on both, or you can choose one or the other. And so, again, this right here is telling you exactly week 1 through 6 interaction papers, what you are to write on. If you send me something else, then I'm going to take off points, or I'm going to write you back and say, hey, this is not what you're supposed to. So everything you need is found. These are due every Saturday night at 11:30. So your quizzes, interaction paper are due 11:30 on Saturday evenings. Now, you have a bigger page paper called your interview. It's interview and paper. And one of the things we're going to be doing throughout this class is learning about Christianity in relation to other religions. We're going to be touching on little small differences and similarities between Christianity and other religions. So, for this assignment, you're going to do 2 main things. Number 1, you are going to find a student or person that you know, no boyfriends or girlfriends, husband or wives, but someone that you know well, or maybe a total stranger, and you are going to interview them. They must be from a different religious background or a different worldview. You cannot, if you are a Christian, I cannot go and interview another Christian. I've got to find someone who has different beliefs and a different worldview than I do. The main goal is to learn how to listen and learn about other people, but also understand the similarities and differences between what you believe and what someone else believes. Now, I'm trying to see if you go under your resources tab over here, number 1, your resources is going to be where you're going to find all these lectures as they are recorded and posted here, like week 1, week 2, this sort of thing. But in this handout, by the start of the class, this right here, these handouts, one of them is going to be the interview sheet that you must use. So you're literally going to take the interview sheet that you find here in the handouts, and you are going to download it, and you are going to use that as the sheet that you're eventually going to submit to me. Now, notice what it says right here. After interviewing the students, all right, after you interview your interviewee, you are going to fill out your interview sheet with your findings, all right? You are going to tell me how they answer these questions, but you are also going to interact between what you believe and what they believe. Maybe your beliefs are similar, maybe they're different, but you are going to show me that you understand what you believe and what they believe by interacting with it. So notice here, you've got to interview them. You've got to then come back to your sheet. You've got to summarize what they say. You don't want to do word for word because it's going to take up way too much space. And then you are going to, after you summarize, this is what Bobby said about this question, you are then going to come back and you are going to interact with those beliefs, your beliefs and theirs. Now, when you look at this sheet, what you're going to notice is when I load it on the handouts, you are going to have 4 questions that every student must use. These are 4 of the big questions about life. You're going to ask them these questions. But there's going to be 4 blank questions. You're going to type in your own 4 extra questions. I don't give you these 4 questions because based on who you're interviewing, you might come up with different questions that are really good for them to answer. Make sure you do not ask yes or no questions. If you ask yes or no questions, you're going to get a yes or no answer, which is not going to be very helpful. But you're going to come up, I give you 4 questions, you are going to then come up with your own other 4 questions. Notice this is only 3 to 4 spaces single space, 3 or 4 pages single space, meaning you've only got about half of a page for half of a page per question because you've got 8 questions. So if you ask good questions, this paper is going to write itself. Notice right here, a couple things. Do not use excessive spacing between your questions. So if between question 1 and question 2, you put in like 6 lines of spacing, I'm going to take off points. You should be able to ask good questions, good follow-up questions, and be able to get enough information to answer that. These are going to be due Saturday, February 17th at 11:30 p.m. And finally, your final exam, which I will cover later on, is going to be due the very, very end of course. You're going to have 90 minutes to do it. It's closed book. It's going to be based on lectures and reading. That's going to be the last week of class. Let's look at the course schedule real quick. Each of the lectures, this is going to be the longest lecture you probably have. After this, they're going to be shortened, so you can kind of sit and watch them in one sitting. But the way we're going to do this class is this. Each week, by the weekend, you are going to have the lectures recorded and posted here, over here, if you can see this bookmarks. The bookmarks, I'm going to post them right here. They're going to come from YouTube. So you're going to be able to log in, click on there, watch the lecture, take notes on the lecture, and go from there. Now, what I'm going to do is base these lectures. These lectures that you're going to have here are going to be on the main material of the course. All right? Then, for those of you who are online, those of you who are in-person students, one day per week, Tuesdays, you are going to be required to attend a course where we do not just go over the same information, but we actually cover additional information. Well, not really additional information. We're going to dig deep into these main themes. So, for example, notice here's your reading key. So when I look at this reading key right here, top of the screen, BC for basic Christianity or whatever, this tells me that this over here, these bold, the bold writing right here, the bold type here is what you are required to read or what you need to read for each lecture. Now remember, week 1, next week, week 1 in this semester, January 8th through the 14th, you're going to have 4 lectures. This was the introduction to syllabus. The next 3 that I'm going to post throughout the weekend are what is truth, what is religion, is Christianity, religion, or relationship, right? You've got 3 chapters to read from the books, a couple of chapters to read from the Bible, and these are going to be kind of touched on or important to what I'm going to give you in these lectures. Then, during the week, Tuesday, January 9th, we are going to discuss the main ideas covered in the lecture for about an hour, right? And that's the same schedule we're going to keep throughout right here. Each week is going to show you what you have to read. These readings in bold are what your quiz is going to be on. So if you don't read, you won't get the quiz right. And then each week we have this day where we spend in class, 1 hour in class. That is where we're going to dive deep and ask questions and discuss it. So that's sort of the schedule. And yeah, so that is the schedule. There's going to be no in-person class for week 7 because I'm going to free that up for you to study for your final exam. These are some course-specific policies. Here is your grading. Reading quizzes are worth 30, interaction worth 30, student interview is 20, and final exam worth 20%. Late assignment policy. For me, I will allow you to make up work if it's an excused absence. I'm sick or I'm traveling, there's a death in the family, something like that, that causes you not to be able to take it at the right time. If it continues to be a habit, a pattern for you, then I'm going to start, taking off points. If you wait until the very end of class, I'm not going to open those assignments back up because, again, you are college students. If you miss something, communicate with me and I'll give you a chance to make it up. Make sure you use email to interact with me. Here are some just regulations you can find in your syllabus. If you are still looking for the syllabus, you have a tab over here. You click on it. There's the official syllabus. If you have complaints about me or anything else, shows you right here what you can do. Course attendance policy. Let me do right here. This is important. Faculty will take attendance during class for on-campus students. For me, that will be a printout with your name. You're going to need to come in and write your name every week. I will take that sheet. I will come back in here and do attendance. For those of you who are online students, this is very, very important, so make sure you are paying attention to this. If you want to be counted present and not fail the class or lose points, you got to go to the discussion forum, right? And all you're going to do is come here to week 1 attendance. Week 1 attendance. You are going to post. You are going to come in here and you're going to make a post, type out your name, and by doing that, that lets me know that you have watched all of the lectures, you've done all the reading, and I will count you present. Let's see. That's really the main thing. Academic integrity and misconduct. I hate having to go over this, but if you cheat, and most students, most classes, semesters, there is somebody who tries to cheat. There will be 2 or 3 of you that will try to get together and take the exam together. Your answers will all be the same. When that happens, I will reach out to you. We're going to try to figure out something. You might fail the assignment. So if 2 of you get together and write the same paper, then I'm going to reach out to you, get your explanation, see what's going on. You're probably going to receive a 0 for that assignment and be warned. If it happens twice, then you are turned into the school and you fail the course. So please, 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 if you're running behind, if you need more time, if something goes on, reach out to me and ask for help. Please do not cheat. Because most of the time you're going to get caught. There are tools that we have to know whether you cheat on the exam or cheat on different things. So don't even try to do that. Yeah, not worth it. All right, that is it for this first lecture, which is on introduction and the syllabus and kind of navigating this course. In the grade book, you'll be able to go in and check out your grades. It's not up and running yet. I've got to go and make sure that all the assignments are in and make sure that they're weighted so the right grades go in. Other than that, check back for coursework and resources. Stay on top of your stuff. If I'm ever not going to be able to make a course, I'm going to email you and I'm going to put it right here in the news and the announcement. So when you log in, the first thing you're going to see is the news or announcement saying, it'll be like right here, latest news. There is no latest news. If for some reason something changes, then that will be right there to let you know. All right. Well, I appreciate your attention. Look forward to having class with you. If I can help you or even pray for you in any way, please don't hesitate to reach out. All right. God bless.